Hello there, I'm Microsoft MVP Tom Morgan. I'm joined again by Lyndsay Ansell for some more talking stuff. Hi, Lyndsay.
Hello.
This is we were just laughing about this before we came on and started this whole thing. I'm talking very quietly because in the challenges of finding time to do everything and scheduling, it's nap time. Not for me, but for my daughter who's just next door. And so normally I get like very loud and vocal and stuff, and so I'm gonna have to try and rein it in and not do that. So we'll see how it goes. But this is a chilled, laid back session today.
I'll use my inside voice as well. So it's all very cozy.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about prioritization, and I'm really glad you brought this up actually, because I think maybe, I don't know, my calendar has exploded in the last 6 months. I'm not sure about yours, and it feels like way more stuff is coming in. But of course, it's probably no more than usual, but people aren't dropping by your desk anymore asking you to do things. Everything's coming through Teams and coming through Outlook. And I don't know, how do you cope with that? Because like, do you try and be,
isn't it?
it's a lot, right? And the risk is you either do it in the moment as it comes in, or it's lost forever. How should everybody have a strategy for dealing with this? Like, is that how you do it, or you just do it in whatever comes in first, or whoever shouts loudest? Like, what's the?
I don't know. I suppose it's what works for people, isn't it? I personally struggle if I don't have a strategy for it, because I think I've definitely found in the past that you can kind of easily get swept up into other people's agendas, and you know, I'm a people pleaser as well. So if somebody asks for help with something or wants me to do something, I'm always the first person to be like, yeah, sure, I can do that, even if I have absolutely no time whatsoever, because I don't like saying no. So yeah, I've definitely found in the past I can get like swept up on like other people's trains, and then realize that actually I had all this stuff over here that I sort of needed to do and haven't done, because I've been doing all this other stuff instead. So yeah, so I personally struggle if I don't have a strategy, but also my my strategy changes all the time, and I think you have to be flexible enough, because there's always going to be something urgent that comes out of nowhere, isn't there, that actually is important, and I think you need to sort of be able to have that flexibility built in where you can go, okay, fair enough, I'll just drop everything and deal with this, but I guess hopefully that's not happening day to day. Yeah, I suppose I'm just interested because I'm conscious that I know you've got work to do, and I know that I personally like ping you loads of different channels and trillions of messages all day, every day on Teams.
Yeah, but that's your job, right? That's you know, that's
it's true.
And actually, yeah. So it's tricky, isn't it? Because some people live by calendars, so they'll make time in their calendar for things as they come in, like almost a calendar as a to-do list, right? So
yeah.
And some people swear by that, and they say it works really well for them. Other people have, to-do lists that they go through. I'm sort of somewhere in between. Like I do sometimes block time out to do things, but not very often. But the challenge is otherwise, because your calendar is not always your own, and you feel obligated to sort of accept stuff as well.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Because you kind of go, well, I could decline this, but
there's a whole school of thought to that, isn't there? Right? Because I'm on the edge. Outlook's got loads of rules built in, so you could auto decline meetings where there's a conflict. But that worries me slightly, right? Because there's no guardrails on that. Like I think I want more AI first to be, if it's my manager or above, maybe don't just auto decline it without telling me.
No thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come to you catch up.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So because that, but on the same token, I use focus time quite a lot in Outlook now.
Okay.
So focus time will look forward, and I think sort of 3 or 4 days hence, and it will block book time in your calendar. The idea being that your day doesn't get taken up by short half-hour, 1 hour meetings that are spread throughout the day and don't give you solid blocks of time to really concentrate on stuff. So the idea is it will block book 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever it is in and around your meeting. So what tends to happen, I really like this actually, because what tends to happen is all your meetings get compressed, they get butted up against each other, but they all happen in the morning or in the afternoon or whatever. And that kind of is the only way I get 2 to 3 to 4 hours of clear time to actually make forward progress on the stuff I think is important, versus servicing the needs of the business and other people and stuff. So that's kind of one approach. But I think prioritization is definitely really hard.
I mean, I did try the focus time idea, but for me, I need it to be more like I need my calendar to be more specific. So do this task here, and then I find that gives me the flexibility to move things around, and the lower priority things I could just move out to another time. I think by doing that, it forces me to really be honest with myself about what I can achieve during a day, because I think that's another. For some reason, I've always felt like when I'm working from home, there's more time to like in the working day, which is not true necessarily. Like there is still like a finite amount of hours in which to do things, and that might not always be 9 to 5, but in the bulk of my working day, I've definitely been guilty of sort of being over ambitious about what can be achieved. So by putting absolutely everything in the calendar, I can go, well, actually, I'm not going to get all of that done. It would be nice, but some of this stuff's going to have to move. But I think it's
because you put quite personal stuff in your calendar as well, don't you? Like you mix up work and like personal life, which I think is very sensible, because there's only one day, there's only one 24 hours, and there's only one Lyndsay. So I put my lunch hour in because otherwise I just wouldn't eat. I think that's really sensible.
And I've sort of like, when my son gets picked up for childcare, I have that blocked out as no meetings, because fallen foul of that one before, being in the middle of a customer call going, one moment, just this is my son, excuse me while I transfer him. So that's not great. But I find that so when things are coming in through the day, and you have to kind of like sometimes juggle stuff around, like a new priority comes in, let's say, or what somebody else thinks is a new priority for you, which is not always a new priority for you. It's not always the same thing. But I'm sort of feel like, so in the old days of Skype, I feel like the whole presence idea was a lot more of a consideration for people. So if your presence was busy or on a call or in a meeting, etc., I feel like people would respect that a bit more, and actually not reach out to you. Whereas in the Teams world, where everything persists, I feel like presence has sort of gotten a bit diluted, and people will see that you're busy or see that you're in a call and message you anyway because it's priority for them, and then it puts the ball in your court then, doesn't it? So it's up to you to get back to them whenever you feel like it.
And actually it's even worse than that, because I think we got away from presence being real time, and then sort of moved to Teams being, well, it's a kind of an asynchronous model. So you send a message when you're ready and they'll send a message when they're ready. But that sort of requires everyone to opt into that. And it's a mental shift as well, I think, to recognise that you don't have to pounce on everything straight away. But then people abuse that by, I'm not sure we've got time for this entire rant, but people who start their chats, hi. Like, you don't mean hi, do you? You mean stop what you're doing and pay me attention so I can tell you this thing that you should do right now. Just put the ask out there, do it, leave it. Like, I'll come back to you when it's done. Like, don't make me real time engage with you right now. So hi people just get ignored
when
mostly.
My presence, it's clearly in a meeting. So I've lumped that in with the whole prioritization chat, because I feel like that's something that can easily tear you away from, whatever your focus, your priority is at the moment. Is, all these chat messages pinging up, and you sort of think, well, I need it over here and over here, but I'm doing this thing over here. Like, how do I juggle? I suppose. And I feel like there's an element of like, I always try and figure out what is the important thing to do for the business, I suppose, or the customers, or try and be company minded. But then that always means that things like professional development tend to sort of fall by the wayside, don't they? Because
definitely. And actually, as do long-term projects, I think they're often the first to go, in favour of like short-term things as well. But you're absolutely right. Like, personal stuff definitely goes out the window first.
Which is silly, isn't it? Because actually, the company would benefit probably from the new skill or information or whatever it is you're sort of catching up on. So it kind of, it should be as much of a priority as anything else, arguably. But yeah, so yeah, I don't. There's loads of approaches, aren't there?
There are. Like, I sort of, I'm going to talk about it, but I'm not going to say it cures all the problems, because it kind of doesn't, and I don't do it very well. But what I'm trying to do is like keep a list of things I think I should do today, things I should do this week, and things I should do this month, and then things I should do later, and then put everything on it as much as possible, like literally as many things as I can think of to get them out of my head. I put them on there and try and like bucket them. The only problem with that is that you feel like a bit of a failure if you don't do all the this week things in the week, and they get pushed to the next week and stuff. But I think, I don't know, it's a bit of a sort of priority ranking that seems to help me. But yeah, I don't know.
And do you have any difference in the way that you would deal with emails to stuff that comes through on Teams? Or because I tend to think an email is sort of by its nature maybe less urgent. I'm not sure why.
I don't know. I try not to, because there's always too many exceptions to the rule, if that makes sense. So,
yeah, that's true.
Like, you're right. Email should be kind of less time critical in a way. Like, that's how I think we see it, as the people who use the technology all day and like understand the nuances of all the different technologies, love them. Execs tend to still live in email world, so there's that.
Yes,
so like you've got to be on that, but also actually a lot of alerting, like back end tools and telemetry and stuff, still alerts on email. So for me, like, sometimes an email will come in that's really important because it's like, so and so server is just about to die, you should go and do something about that. So I try and, I think it is so I try and kind of do them equally. I have tried that thing of like, I'm not going to look at my email more than once an hour, but I'm not very good at that either.
I try to do that.
I do use the quiet as stuff on Teams though. I don't know if you've seen it on your mobile. You can set quiet as, and you won't get pinged.
I have seen it.
Okay.
I don't have it on. All my hours allowed.
Yeah. But I try and do that in the evenings, but I'm not very good at that either. yeah, there is that. Yeah.
Missing stuff.
Yes. But then I don't know. But then I also end up dropping some things like Yammer when it gets busy, which is probably the right thing to do, but I feel like I'm missing out there, or I feel like I'm not, especially at the moment in this where we are, where everyone's at home. I kind of feel like I really should be in Yammer, because otherwise I'm kind of dropping out of the company culture a bit. I'm not contributing to the company culture, and I'm a terrible person, whatever. So but it's hard, isn't it?
Guilt.
yeah, which is
Real
but yeah, like, it's, I don't know. I think
it's tricky, isn't it?
It is tricky. Yeah.
I don't think there's one answer.
No,
I think there's lots of options around, isn't there, to help, which of itself can sometimes be a bit tricky.
And actually, don't be afraid to try new things, because it's quite good fun to try a new method. There's a million methodologies, like the GTD thing, which my board is roughly based on. I can't remember his name now. Somebody quite famous did a whole GTD. There's a book you can get, and of course you can go on and stuff, but that sort of boils down to that. And there's like do one thing. There's a lot of different methodologies for getting stuff done, and it's quite good fun to try those if for nothing else. So
yeah,
yeah.
I know. I spoke to a consultant who shall remain nameless,
Cool.
who likes to do so much that he just has an iPad dedicated to having to do on it that's next to him all day long.
That's really interesting, because I've been having lots of ideas about what to do about this TV behind me, which is not plugged in because the cables are everywhere and you probably can't see it. There's going to be a unit there, and then the TV is going to be above it and nicely cabled in, because I don't like the cables. But I don't know. Is that a calendar? Is it a to-do list? Is it Teams? I don't know. Maybe it can help. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I'm jealous. I want about 8 screens and different things on.
I did for quite long. When we were in the office, I did have like a tablet, like a really cheap Amazon Fire tablet, running a piece of software called DACboard, which is just like gives you a fancy website you go to, and it loads up whatever you want. Really, you can have photos on there, time of day, the weather, your to-do list, whatever. But I had our family calendar. So obviously I was at work, I had my work calendar and everything like that, but I had my family calendar for the day and the next day just like in front of me. And that did seem to help, because I'm terrible for overbook. I won't say terrible. It feels like it's a hard problem technology hasn't well solved, that I have a work calendar and a home calendar and they can't see each other very easily. And I don't want to expose my whole family calendar to my work colleagues. I don't necessarily want to burden my family with the entire work calendar, but there's overlaps. So I end up duplicating a lot and putting blocks in that don't make sense to anyone. And I don't know. That's another. Life's hard.
It is, isn't it?
First world problems, but I don't know. Yeah. But it's good to see there's no magic bullet I've missed. I think.
No.
Same.
Same. Yeah. I just try and keep up with everything. I feel like I have the guilt around being the annoying one who's always chasing for stuff.
No, I mean, think about
there's this action. Have you done this? There's this action. Have you done this? What about this thing from 3 months ago?
I feel bad. I feel bad that you have to do it. I think how many things would drop if you weren't doing it, and I always feel bad every time you do it, because I was like, oh, I should have done that. Why is my listing system so bad that I didn't do these things that you asked me to do and I haven't yet done? So.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We can both feel bad together.
I'm not sure we solved anything, but it was fun to talk.
No, it was good. Yes. Well, maybe I'll get myself a little tablet that I can have a big list on.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Excellent. Well, it's been good to talk.
Yes.
And I don't think I woke anyone up. I haven't. Oh, I have got a message. I just ignored it. Oh no, it was fine. It was about something else, which is good. Good.
Still
no
asleep.
Shouty messages. Still asleep. So yeah, it's all good.
Yes. All right. Oh,
right.
See you next time.
Excellent. Speak to you next time. Bye.
Bye.